Hi there, welcome to the RPS project. Today I'm going to have a look at this thing, HP Pavilion. Now I've had a look at this one before, this little box, and I wanted to know if it worked. So I was given the box, and when I turned it on it did seem to work. The hard drive was apparently a goner, but I managed to boot into a version of Linux Mint, which is what I want to put on here. Now, I did need a few bits to, as it were, I don't know, call it upgrade. It's not much of an upgrade really, just want to put Linux Mint on there, but I needed an SSD rather than putting it onto another hard drive who uses hard drives anyway. So I managed to get this Crucial BX500 120GB SSD, which is what I'm going to eventually put this onto. Latest version of Linux Mint. And I also needed a little cradle, because this had like a cradle unit in there, but it's basically designed for the hard drive. So I need something to be able to mount the SSD in there, and I got this after some searching. I've even decided that I'm going to do, as it were, a little upgrading. So I've managed to get hold of this, which is, on the back, it's a 1-port PCI, not Express, just PCI gigabit Ethernet card. Why? Because the Ethernet connector on this is not gigabit, so you know, it just restricts it. So if it's got that, then hopefully it'll just give it a better better data stream for connecting to the internet, rather than being restricted by what's actually on the motherboard, because this thing is you know, quite a few years old. And I've even decided I might go as extreme as to put some new thermal paste on the CPU, just to help that to run a little bit better. So let's get on with it and open it up. So here we have my box, and I suppose I better get out and open it up. Got my ice cube tray, not for having a nice drink, but to put the screws into. It's always good to have somewhere to put the screws, because I have lost a few screws in the past. Get the lid off, and there we go. Put that down inside the case. Now I do know from the last time I opened this up, I need to get this front panel off, so let's see about getting this off. Now it was a little bit tricky because there's a couple of clips here, there's one there, and then I need to put down just to get this one open. There we go, front's off. Now there is, for my last trip into this box, this thing here, which is just a mounting unit. It was obviously marketed as some sort of special feature, but really it's just got a USB connector in the back. So yeah, some bespoke carriage unit that actually doesn't do a lot. So guts on the inside, you can see it's a basic unit. So what I'm going to do first of all is maybe take this CD drive out, DVD, whatever it is. Don't need to have that in there while I'm working on it. I don't necessarily need to take this drive out, but I prefer to, just because I think it's going to be a bit easier to work on. And then there's a little catch on the side here. Push it out and it allows me to withdraw the CD unit drive, DVD drive. So brilliant, that's out the way. Then obviously the main thing I'm coming in for with this is to remove the hard drive that's in here and put in an SSD. So let's just get that out of the way. There's a screw on the side here. Undo connectors. We've got power, data, get that cable out of the way, and then this whole rack, as before, just slides on out. There we go. And then there's just 4 screws to undo the hard drive. Let's undo them, get this drive out. Going to support it while I do the last one. There we go, and then it just comes on out. Now with this one, the screws on the side here, there's little like flexing lugs on the side of the cage, and I can use that to my advantage to fit the new cage in. This cage, one of these, basic cage. Get these real cheap. This one is designed to take 2 SSDs. I'm only putting 1 in there, but that'll be just fine. So what I need to do first of all is mount the SSD in there. So let's get the SSD in there. Now I want the front, if I'm rightly, I've done it like that, so SSD has to sit at the front here. SSD BX500 from Crucial, 2.5 inch solid state drive, 120 gig, it's all I need for this. Lovely. I love that. You know, when you look at it, you just go, hard drive. Get this open and just go hard drive, SSD. It's just wow. You know, now this is, I think, 320 gigabytes. So yeah, it is bigger than this in storage size, but yeah, come on. And it's so much faster as well, so why would you not? Even though I imagine that the motherboard probably doesn't run at the latest version of SATA. It's probably SATA 1, maybe SATA 2 on there. So, you know, it's not going to be as fast as it could be, but it's certainly going to be faster than this. So, let's just move that out of the way. So, first of all, what I want to do is work out how I'm going to mount this. Now, it's got to go in with the power cable that way. So, it's going to go in like that. So, let's see if we can get this mounted in. So, we're going to need some screws. What have we got here? Now, I've got a bunch of screws. Obviously, like I said, I have had a little look at this already, so I've already determined what I'm going to need. Now I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. That. And I'm going to have these 4 diddly ones. Number 1. Now the thing about the SSDs that I really like is the fact that they're, besides being faster, they use a lot less power than a traditional drive. So, I mean, on an older computer, you might think, oh well, what about the power supply? Now in this machine, obviously the power supply is not like a standard ATX, so it's going to be something a little bit more bespoke. So changing the power supply isn't that easy to do. So changing over to an SSD means that you've got less power strain on that power supply by having an SSD in there. and you just happen to increase your speeds. And there we go, that's in there. Now I just need to slide this into this carriage. And like I say, because there's these locating lugs at the end, I can use them to hold it in position just there. There we go. Effectively, that's mounted in there. And as you can see, this thing now, without having done much else to it, is ready to go back in. And because this cage just slots straight in there, which is brilliant. The only thing I've got now is it's going to be a bit tricky just to line up the power connector. And there you have it. The SSD is basically mounted in there now. Brilliant. It's amazing. Now, I said I was going to possibly have a look at doing the CPU. Put some new paste on it. So let's have a look, see if I can do this without too much messing about. Now, 4 screws to screw it down, fully loosen there. There are long screws on this thing. There we go. Wow. Yeah, there's the. Let's take that connector off. There we go. Wow, that's. Oh, it's not too bad. I think someone might have redone this in the not too distant past, because it's still a bit tacky, that goo on there. Let's just really get in there so we can have a look at it. So what I need to do is just clean it off. I'm going to try and clean it off in situ. I don't really want to take it out of its socket. I don't think there's any need to do that, but let's get the cleaner. Good old cleaner. I mean, you can get plenty of different types of cleaners. I just tend to use this one. It's what I got hold of, so let's get on with it. So there we have my AMD Athlon CPU from 2005, pretty much cleaned off. A little bit of residue on there, but I could spend forever trying to clean it perfectly. Clean the heatsink off as well, so just need to put that fan and heatsink back on there with a bit of thermal compound, and we'll be ready to go. So, bit of thermal compound. Got this super thermal grease, the ZM STG2, so let's get some of that on there. There we go, that's more than enough. Probably overdone it really a little bit, but never mind. And then just need to put that heatsink back on. I'm going to get it lined up. And on it goes. Just screw that down and we'll be away. Okay, on to the next thing. This is that gigabit Ethernet port that I'm going to put in there. It comes with the driver CD, never mind, and another front. It's already got the low profile bracket on, I think. Yeah, by the looks of it. Not sure I'll need that, but never mind. Even get a little instruction for it, so let's get that put in there. First of all, take this back cover off the shield. That's a nice little bracket thing that's in there. I think it's going to go into this one, the bottom port, because it's the PCI, not the PCI Express. And there we have it, the Ethernet port. So now this is always going to be tricky, because I always find these a bit tricky in these, especially in these older machines, that trying to get them to locate properly in the PCI connector. And there we go, that's gone in. Brilliant. It's quite smoothly done. Put this little bracket back on, hold everything in position. There we go. Yeah, that's the Ethernet port in there. So I suppose I better put the CD drive back in, because everything's connected. Everything's in where it should be, hopefully. Might have to jig this cable around a bit, because it's getting in the way a little bit. There we go. Because I need to get back this bracket thing that goes in here, haven't I? So there we go. Put the front on, I suppose. Perhaps I should turn it on and check it first, but well, you know what? I'm just going to go with this and see what happens. Rest with that. It's back on. So there we go. Machine is basically ready to go. And what I'm going to do is not put the lid on, but I'm going to connect it up and get it ready for having a little test. Okay, so now we've got the box. You know, not put the lid on, but I've got the card in and the drive's in there, got everything set up, so I can turn this on and have a look at it, see what happens. Yeah, let's just go for it. Well, the fan's on and everything's clicking and buzzing. Oh, there we go. Oh, let's go into setup. That's F10. There we go, getting in there, and there you go. We're in the BIOS. Marvellous. So date, time, it tells you about my first drive, second drive. Yeah, because even though I do have that SSD in there, it's not been formatted. It's not had anything done to it. So at the moment, it probably just doesn't see it. Power. Boot. So at the moment it just says hard disk drive, but it actually is there. You can see it. I don't know if the screen's coming through particularly well for you, but on here it is telling me the 120BX500 SSD. So yeah, it is seeing it. It's just obviously there's no no operating system on there. It's just come out of here and it'll try and boot up, and what it'll do is have a disagreement with me. It'll wait for it to go past the BIOS, and it's looking for an operating system. It says disk boot failure, insert system disk and press enter. I don't know if that's coming up on the screen very well, but I can see it quite clearly. Not sure if the camera's catching it because the light in here is fairly awful. Sorry about that, but it's what I've got. So what I'm going to do is turn this off, put in this SSD, with the media on there. Then I'm going to turn it on and look at the boot sequence, which I believe it said was escape. Yeah, escape to hit the boot menu. There we go, loading into the boot. And we're going to come down to the SanDisk and take it from there. And there we go. So it's now allowing me to go into Linux Mint. It's the latest version, 20.1 Cinnamon, 64-bit. Now I know that what was on here before was Vista, and I expect that's probably 32-bit, and perhaps I should have put 32-bit versions of something on here, but well, we'll see. So obviously looking at the system and getting things ready, and hopefully we're nearly there. Oh look, and it's coming up. Yeah, look at that. It's Linux Mint as an operating system. Right. Marvellous. And you know what? Everything seems to be in there. A bit of gibberish. I've noticed this before when you're running from a disk. Sometimes the lettering gets a bit messed up. But it does. System monitor. Let's have a quick look at that. Ooh, look at this. Telling me there's a whole load of things it's running. Let's have a look at the resources. Open this window up a little bit. 1.8 gigs of memory, so there's 2 gigs of memory on there. I also happen to know that this is DDR2 memory sitting in here, so, well, you know, it'll do, I suppose. Gets it done. And nothing on the network, because we're not connected to the network. So there you go. HP Pavilion, been upgraded a little bit, and seems to be working. Seems to be okay, but I'm new to Linux, so I've never really used it at all, and Linux Mint seems like a fair place to start. So I'll have to do some looking around, learning, I suppose, learning how to use a Linux distro, and actually also seeing if this particular computer is stable with Linux Mint. I've no idea, so I'll be doing a whole bunch of testing on it, I suppose, and experimenting and just see how well it works. Hopefully it'll be nice and stable and work as a basic little computer. I mean, it's an old box, so it's obviously we're not going to be doing anything mega or extreme on there. I certainly wouldn't be getting into doing any sort of like video editing or anything like that on this box, because I just don't think it would handle it. So it's going to be more just little things, using it to surf the internet. I don't know, not quite sure. And I suppose learning how to use Linux. It's one of the big things. So yeah, what can I say about it? At the moment it works, and hopefully it'll keep working. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Subscribe, and all comments are welcome. See you next time.